Ladies and gentlemen, there is something strange about 3 a.m. Have you ever woken up in the dead of night, glanced at the clock, and seen those 3 eerie numbers glowing back at you? Something feels different. The air is still, the world is quiet, yet inside something stirs. Many call it the witching hour, the time of spirits and shadows. Others say it is the hour of revelation, when the unseen becomes visible. But I tell you tonight, 3 a.m. is more than just a number on a clock. It is a mystery, a signal, a message to those who are willing to listen. Why do people wake up at 3 a.m.? Why do thoughts race in the silence? Why do some feel fear while others feel inspiration? Could it be that 3 a.m. is not an accident, but an appointment, an invitation, a call to something greater? Think about it. The world is asleep, yet you are awake. The noise of the day is gone, yet something within you is speaking. Could it be that 3 a.m. is the moment when the distractions are silenced and the deep truths of life try to reach you? What if that feeling in your chest, that sudden awakening, is not just your body restless, but your spirit alert? History tells us that some of the greatest minds, inventors, and visionaries had their breakthroughs in the dead of night. It is in the darkness that light is most valuable. It is in the silence that wisdom speaks the loudest. What if 3 a.m. is not a time to be afraid, but a time to listen? Maybe the question is not, why am I awake? But rather, what am I supposed to hear? Maybe that idea, that dream, that vision that keeps you up at night is not a disturbance, but a destiny calling your name. What if the 3 a.m. mystery is not about ghosts, demons, or fear, but about awakening? An awakening to purpose. An awakening to the questions we ignore in the daylight. An awakening to the dreams we have buried under responsibility. So the next time you find yourself awake at 3 a.m., don't fight it. Don't run from it. Listen. Ask yourself, what is waking me up? What is stirring inside me? What am I supposed to learn in this quiet hour? Because those who learn to listen at 3 a.m. are often the ones who change the world by sunrise. 3 a.m. is not an accident, but an appointment. It is a moment of awakening, a call to something greater rather than just a random disturbance. The world sleeps, but something within you stirs. The silence of 3 a.m. removes distractions, making it a powerful time for deep thoughts, reflection, and revelation. History proves that great minds receive breakthroughs in the night. Many inventors, visionaries, and leaders have had their greatest ideas during the stillness of the early morning. 3 a.m. is not a time to fear, but a time to listen. Instead of associating it with negativity, see it as an opportunity to connect with your inner self and receive divine wisdom. Your dreams, ideas, and purpose might be trying to reach you. The thoughts that wake you up at this hour could be messages about your destiny waiting to be acknowledged. Those who embrace the mystery of 3 a.m. often change the world by listening, reflecting, and acting on what is revealed in the quiet hours. Individuals can unlock extraordinary potential. There are moments in life that seem insignificant at first glance, but when examined closely, they carry deep meaning. Waking up at 3 a.m. is one of those moments. Many dismiss it as mere restlessness, an overactive mind, or even a strange coincidence. But what if it's not random? What if it's not just a bodily response, but a spiritual or mental appointment? What if 3 a.m. is calling you to something greater? When we go through our daily lives, we are surrounded by noise, constant distractions, obligations, and responsibilities that keep our minds occupied. But when the world is quiet and all distractions fade, something remarkable happens. It is in these silent hours that deeper thoughts emerge, unfiltered and raw. Have you ever noticed that the most profound thoughts often come in the stillness of the night? That's because 3 a.m. is not just another hour on the clock. It is an invitation. Many people report waking up at this hour with a sense of urgency. Some feel a rush of ideas, while others experience a strong emotional pull towards something unknown. Could it be that this is a divine setup? A specific time when your inner voice, your purpose, or even a higher power is trying to reach you? In ancient texts and wisdom traditions, the early morning hours have always been considered sacred, a time when the heavens are open and revelation flows freely. Now think about it. If you keep waking up at 3 a.m., is it truly just insomnia? Or is it an appointment you haven't yet recognized? The mind and spirit are most receptive when the world is still. This is why monks, sages, and deep thinkers often wake up before dawn to pray, meditate, or create. They understand that in the silence, wisdom speaks the loudest. So what if you embraced it instead of resisting it? Instead of tossing and turning, what if you sat in that moment, listened, and asked, what am I meant to hear? What is waking me up? Maybe it's an idea waiting to be acted upon, a solution to a problem that's been troubling you, or an unseen force nudging you toward your destiny. 3 a.m. is not just another hour. It is a window of opportunity, a secret meeting place between you and the greatness within you. The question is, will you answer the call, or will you roll over and ignore it? The choice is yours. But those who recognize the significance of this hour often find themselves stepping into new levels of purpose, clarity, and transformation. In the daytime, life is loud. The world is filled with movement, conversations, responsibilities, and distractions. From the moment we wake up, our minds are occupied with tasks, worries, and endless to-do lists. It is rare to find a moment of complete stillness where we can truly hear ourselves think. But something happens at 3 a.m. The noise fades, the world sleeps, and suddenly something within you stirs. Have you ever noticed that at 3 a.m. the atmosphere feels different? It's not just the darkness, it's the silence, the stillness, the absence of distraction. When everything around you is quiet, the voice inside you becomes louder. Thoughts you've ignored during the day rise to the surface. Unanswered questions, forgotten dreams, and hidden fears come knocking at your mind's door. For some, this hour brings unease, a feeling of vulnerability, as if something unseen is present. For others, it is a moment of clarity, where ideas flow effortlessly. What makes 3 a.m. so powerful is that it forces us to be alone with ourselves. No external influences, no background noise, just you and your thoughts. And in that moment, something profound happens. The reason many people feel restless at this hour is because they are unaccustomed to deep self-awareness. During the day, we suppress certain emotions, delay decisions, and push aside reflections that require too much effort. But when the world is quiet, those suppressed thoughts rise to the surface, demanding attention. It is in these moments that we come face to face with our true selves. If you find yourself awake at 3 a.m., ask yourself, what is stirring within me? What thoughts keep repeating in my mind? What emotions am I feeling? Often the things that rise to our awareness at this hour are the things we need to confront, resolve, or act upon. It could be a dream that refuses to die, a purpose calling you forward, or an idea that is waiting to be birthed. Many of history's greatest thinkers, creators, and leaders have experienced their most profound moments of inspiration in the dead of night. Why? Because in the stillness, the mind is free to connect with deeper wisdom. Without distractions, the subconscious reveals insights that were hidden beneath the surface. So the next time you wake up at 3 a.m., don't dismiss it as random. Instead, lean into the silence. Listen to what your soul is trying to tell you. It is in these quiet hours that some of life's greatest revelations are given, and those who learn to embrace them often find themselves walking in greater clarity, purpose, and vision. Throughout history, the world's greatest minds have often found themselves awake in the stillness of the night, receiving ideas that would later change the course of humanity. Scientists, writers, inventors, and visionaries have all testified to moments of deep inspiration that came to them in the early morning hours. What is it about this time that makes the mind so receptive to brilliance? The brain operates differently at night. During the day, we are bombarded with information, constantly processing conversations, decisions, and external stimuli. But in the silence of the early morning, the mind enters a different state, one where creativity flows freely, where connections between ideas form effortlessly, and where inspiration is unfiltered by the demands of the waking world. This is why many of the most groundbreaking ideas, scientific discoveries, and artistic masterpieces have been born in the stillness of the night. Albert Einstein was known for his unusual sleep habits, often waking up at odd hours to contemplate deep scientific questions. Nikola Tesla, one of the greatest inventors of all time, had moments of genius strike him in the middle of the night. Writers and poets have long spoken of waking up suddenly with lines of poetry or entire stories flooding their minds. This is not coincidence. There is something about these quiet hours that makes revelation possible. At 3 a.m., the subconscious mind is most active. It is in this state that hidden knowledge surfaces, solutions to complex problems appear, and creative breakthroughs happen. This is because the brain is not distracted by the noise of the world. It is free to think, imagine, and create without limitation. Many of the world's most transformative ideas have come to people in dreams, moments of stillness, or sudden bursts of inspiration in the middle of the night. If history has shown us that 3 a.m. is a time of genius, then why do so many people ignore it? Why do we dismiss the sudden awakening as mere restlessness instead of a moment of potential breakthrough? Could it be that the very thing you have been searching for, the solution to your problem, the next step in your journey, the great idea that will change your life, is trying to reach you in the silence? The difference between those who create history and those who merely live it is how they respond to moments like these. When inspiration comes at an unusual hour, do you ignore it or do you embrace it? Those who recognize the power of 3 a.m. do not roll over and go back to sleep. They listen, they write, they act. And in doing so, they step into the kind of greatness that leaves an impact long after they are gone. For centuries, people have associated 3 a.m. with fear, mystery, and the unknown. Some believe it is the witching hour, a time when dark forces are at work. Others feel uneasy when they wake up at this time, sensing something unnatural. But what if 3 a.m. is not a moment to fear, but a moment to listen? What if instead of being disturbed, we are being invited into something deeper? Fear often comes from the unknown. And when we don't understand something, we assume the worst. But the truth is, 3 a.m. is not a time of darkness. It is a time of revelation. In the stillness of the night, when the distractions of the day have disappeared, we are given an opportunity to hear what we would normally ignore. The question is, are we willing to listen? Many people wake up at this hour with a racing mind, a strong feeling in their heart, or a sudden idea that seems to come out of nowhere. Some dismiss it, assuming it's just restlessness. Others feel afraid because they don't understand what's happening. But what if waking up at 3 a.m. is not something to run from, but something to embrace? Think of the great minds throughout history, visionaries, artists, and spiritual leaders who sought wisdom in the early hours. They understood that the night is not just a time of sleep, but a time of discovery. Monks rise before dawn to pray. Writers keep a notebook by their beds to capture ideas that come in the night. Inventors and scientists have had their most brilliant insights in these silent hours. If these moments are so powerful, then why do we fear them? What if the stirring at 3 a.m. is not something dark, but something divine? What if it is a signal, a whisper calling you to wake up, not just physically, but spiritually? In that quiet moment when the world is asleep, there is an open space for reflection, for wisdom, for clarity. Instead of fearing the unknown, what if you leaned into it? The next time you wake up at 3 a.m., don't resist it. Sit with it. Listen to your thoughts. Ask yourself, what is being revealed to me? Maybe it's an idea that will change your life. Maybe it's an answer to a question you've been struggling with. Maybe it's a reminder that you are meant for more. Whatever it is, don't let fear keep you from hearing it. The stillness of 3 a.m. is not your enemy. It is your invitation to something greater. Deep inside every person, there is a dream, an idea, a purpose, a vision that refuses to be ignored. It may be buried under responsibilities, doubts, or fears, but it never truly disappears. And for many, that dream speaks the loudest in the stillness of the night. Have you ever noticed that at 3 a.m. thoughts you pushed aside during the day suddenly return? That idea you dismissed, that passion you neglected, that goal you once had but abandoned, it all comes rushing back. Could it be that 3 a.m. is not just a random time to wake up, but a divine moment where your destiny is trying to reach you? During the day, life moves fast. We are consumed with tasks, obligations, and the demands of others. There is little room for deep thinking, for true reflection, for listening to what our inner voice is saying. But when the world sleeps, when everything is quiet, the distractions disappear. That is when the mind begins to clear, and what truly matters comes to the surface. Have you ever woken up at 3 a.m. with a sudden idea, a creative thought, or a burning question that you can't shake? This is no accident. The subconscious mind continues working long after the body rests, processing ideas and searching for solutions. And sometimes, at the right moment, when the noise of life is gone, it presents those answers to you. The question is, will you listen? Many of the most life-changing ideas come at unexpected times. Authors wake up with entire book concepts. Entrepreneurs dream of business strategies. Scientists solve problems that had them stuck for months. This happens because the mind, when free from distractions, is able to connect thoughts in ways that seem impossible during the busyness of the day. What if that thought at 3 a.m. is not random, but a calling? What if your mind is trying to remind you of the dreams you once had, the potential that still lives inside you? What if your purpose has been waiting for you to slow down long enough to hear it? Instead of dismissing these moments as simple restlessness, pay attention. Keep a notebook by your bed. Write down what comes to you in these quiet hours. Reflect on the ideas that stir your heart. You may be surprised to discover that the very thing you have been searching for has been trying to reach you all along. 3 a.m. is not an interruption, it is an invitation. It is a reminder that your dreams are still alive, waiting for you to acknowledge them. The question is, will you listen or will you roll over and let them fade away once again? There are two types of people in this world: those who ignore the whispers of destiny and those who act on them. The difference between those who change the world and those who simply exist is how they respond to the moments that call them higher. And one of those moments often comes at 3 a.m. History has shown us that the people who embrace the mysteries of the night are the ones who leave a lasting impact. They are the ones who wake up with an idea and write it down. They are the ones who listen to the thought stirring inside them instead of brushing them off as mere restlessness. They are the ones who recognize that when the world is asleep, there is an open space for inspiration, revelation. Think about it. How many breakthroughs, inventions, and masterpieces were birthed in the quiet hours of the night? How many leaders and visionaries have had defining moments when no one else was watching? It is because in those hours the mind is unshackled from routine and the spirit is free to explore possibilities. The greatest ideas, the most profound wisdom, and the clearest direction often come in silence. But only those who are awake enough to receive them can use them to change the world. The difference is in the response. Some people wake up at 3 a.m., feel a deep stirring inside them and dismiss it. They turn over, pull the covers up and go back to sleep, both physically and mentally. They silence the very thing trying to wake them up to their purpose. But others, the ones who truly embrace greatness, take action. They ask questions, they write down their thoughts, they lean into the moment knowing that something significant is happening. What if you treated 3 a.m. as a divine appointment? What if instead of ignoring it, you used it as a time to reflect, to dream, to plan? What if that idea, that solution, that breakthrough you've been waiting for is not coming through the noise of the day, but in the quiet of the night? The world belongs to those who are willing to listen when others are sleeping. It belongs to those who act on their ideas instead of ignoring them. It belongs to those who recognize that inspiration is not random, it is an opportunity. The only question is, when that opportunity comes knocking at 3 a.m., will you answer it or will you let it slip away into the darkness? 3 a.m. is more than just a time on the clock. It is a mystery, an invitation, and a call to something greater. It is the moment when the world sleeps, but something within you stirs. It is the hour when distractions fade and the deepest thoughts, dreams, and ideas rise to the surface. Some dismiss it as restlessness, while others recognize it as a divine appointment, a time when destiny speaks the loudest. History has shown us that in the stillness of the night, breakthroughs are born. The greatest thinkers, inventors, and visionaries have embraced the quiet hours as a time of revelation and creation. What if the thoughts that wake you up at 3 a.m. are not disturbances but whispers of purpose? What if the dreams you abandoned are knocking at your heart, reminding you that they are still alive? The choice is yours. You can ignore the mystery of 3 a.m., roll over, and let inspiration slip away. Or you can embrace it, listen, reflect, and take action. The people who change the world are not the ones who sleep through their moments of awakening. They are the ones who recognize them and respond. So the next time you find yourself awake at 3 a.m., don't be afraid, don't dismiss it, lean into it. Ask yourself, what am I supposed to hear? What is trying to reach me? Because those who learn to listen in the silence often find themselves walking in clarity, purpose, and transformation. The world belongs to those who wake up, not just physically, but mentally, spiritually, and purposefully. The only question is, will you answer the call?